hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to see everybody tonight. I've got such exciting stuff to tell tonight. I think y'all are in for a big treat. And I love it when I can prove myself right. I'm sorry, y'all. That makes me feel so good when I can prove what what we said was right. But first, let's talk about Milton, and
Did you
then I'll
fact
be
check
more than
yourself?
happy going my stuff.
Did you fact check yourself?
I'm not going to need to. You're in for a big treat there, Linda. You just wait. In fact, I think you're going to double check me.
I'm just saying, you said you know when you're right. I said, did you fact check yourself so
Like,
you know you're right?
yeah, I know for sure I'm right. I know that I'm right.
Good.
But let's actually I'm proving both of us right.
Okay,
All right.
I'll
But
take that.
let's talk about Milton real quick. Right now, um, Milton was supposed to be a lot more devastating than it was. But what happened with Milton is Helene came in first, got the ground saturated, and then Milton came in afterwards and did the rest of the destruction. The trees were already in a vulnerable position. The ground was so wet. And when the winds came in and the ground was so wet, he knocked the trees over. Um, but the scary thing, y'all, is it's also backing up the sewage because all of the drains are full with all the water. So
Right.
now their sewage is backing up. Water's everywhere. Everybody's underwater. And you know what the worst part is? They're underwater with not just regular water. Can't you get sepsis or something from that stuff? I would think something.
Yeah, you can get really sick from it. That's for sure.
There's a lot of areas they never thought was ever going to be, um, was going to affect. That
Right.
it did affect. That it did
Right.
affect.
Right.
It, it's a nasty, dirty, horrible cleanup mess. And now we await Nadine. They're saying Nadine is going to be just as bad as Milton and Helen, Helene, or whatever you want to call
Oh,
her. The only problem is, I guess, Nadine is supposed to go to Louisiana.
oh.
Now, that's
So
yes,
that's where they have the track going is to Louisiana.
they're saying Louisiana right now, but Nadine hasn't hit the Gulf yet. Think about that for a second.
Well, yeah.
God only knows. Well, you know what? I'm going to rephrase that. We'll see. We'll see where Nadine goes. 'Cause,
Yeah. Well, I think Milton, well, I know Milton spawned more tornadoes than any other hurricane ever.
do you know what NEXRAD is? It's NEXRAD. It stands for Next Generation Weather Forecasting, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And it's a system that they have that they can see where there's potential storms. That's
Mm,
what NEXRAD is. So
okay.
after Helen got on land, NEXRAD started popping off like popcorn up around North Carolina. And
Oh,
you can see it. You can see it. It you need to look it up. It's amazing. It looks like little water bubbles going all
yep.
over,
Yep.
popping off all over North Carolina. Okay. Well, now that Milton is hit, NEXRAD's popping off like little popcorn balls again.
Hmm. Go
And
figure.
where in about the same area.
Hmm. Would that happen to be Asheville, North Carolina, where it
Mhm.
happens to have the largest lithium and where they happen to give $250 million to start a mine there, where Big Rock happened to invest $200 million?
Yeah, and Kamala. I gotta say your name right because if you don't, she'll come after you because she wants you to know it's Kamala.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, her
Camilla?
husband, her husband is all in that.
Yeah.
That's his deal. So Kamala is getting ready to make a lot of money off of poor people in Nashville. And you know that $750 that they're giving everybody that's alone, and that you have to now okay, you have to fill out paperwork to get that $750, and you have to qualify for it. Okay, I haven't seen it, but let's talk about what the fine print says. Fine print says that if you do not pay this $750 back within a year, 1 year, they will confiscate your property.
Excuse me.
The government will confiscate your property. Now let's talk about that just for a second. Who would you go after for that? Are you gonna get the rich people and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna give you $750? No, you're not gonna do that because you know dang good and well that they're gonna pay you back within a year.
They rich ones don't need your money anyway.
But if you get these poor people that they live paycheck to paycheck and they just lost their home and they have no insurance and they're still having to build themselves a home after all of this is said and done, that $750 is going to be hard for them to pay back. Just saying, y'all. Maybe my mind thinks a little bit different than everybody else, but I'm thinking to myself, you know what? You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going after these poor people, and you're going to get away with it.
Well, I want to know what's the payback system for the illegal immigrants?
They don't have one. And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up. There's another caravan of I don't know how many thousands that's on its way right now. Kind of funny, right before 25 days left before election. Just saying, just saying, come on. We know they can't vote, they're illegal. Uh-huh. I got news for y'all. They can vote and they will.
Well, it's not that they can't vote. Hello. It's
Howdy.
they're going to. They're
Oh,
going
well, yeah. Yeah. But back to Milton.
Oh, you know what? Somebody just told me 4 people got caught here in the
Glad to
city.
see you.
They
Sorry.
got 4 people caught in the city that did mail-in ballots, and they said something was wrong with it, and then they went to go back and they went to vote, and it was a mistake with the machine,
Uh-huh. Sure it was.
and the county attorney general is going after them for felony charges. The volunteers, because it was the volunteers' mistake. So the volunteers there's 4 volunteers that they're going after for felony charges for letting these people vote again.
Well, doggone, they're going to catch him and do something to him. I bet they don't. I bet they get a slap on the hand and say, you should not done that. Um, that's horrific.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Y'all, we can't make any of this up.
No.
We
No.
can't make it up. My mind don't work that way.
No. No. No, and this particular person told me, that's kind of messed up. And I'm like, why is that messed up? It's like, well, because they volunteered and now they're facing felony charges.
Well,
Oh
they
yeah.
should not have done that. They shouldn't be voting for people they shouldn't. They're voting. They're doing
Yes.
illegal voting there. You know, let me tell you, it's kind of funny how all the devastating areas that have no electricity right now, like North Carolina, these devastated areas are all red counties.
Oh, yeah.
Now, isn't that a little odd?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
It's a little odd how that happened. It just devastated the red areas. It's a fact. It's a fact. You know, I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I cannot make this stuff up, but I'm going to show you something tonight that's going to blow your mind. Okay? Now, before we go any further into it, I'm going to tell you, did we say or did we not say, did Linda and I not tell you that these hurricanes are man-made and they can be driven? Right? Did we not tell you that? And everyone, I know everybody was thinking, I can read your mind, and I'm not even in the same room with you. You're thinking, now, for God's sake, she has lost her ever loving mind. How do you get something that massive and that big and that destructive and direct it, right? I'm going to show you something, guys.
They probably all thought we were, tipping the bottle,
I'm going to show you something.
and we're conspiracy theorists.
Well, guess what? I'm going to show you something.
And
Here you go. I hope everybody can see this. We can make it bigger if we need to. Method to influence the direction of the travel of hurricanes. Abstract. This gentleman patented and created a way to intensify hurricanes and direct them in the path they're going. And his name is Edwin Allen Burns. And it says, in like manner that winds intersect and deflect each other in space, we can intersect and deflect the hurricanes and storms at the area of thrusting between their steering winds and their outer edge with blasting explosive waves of non-nuclear high-powered propellant fuel missiles thrown in vertical alignment against the routing of the steering wind's current at n equal number of levels. There you go. And down it shows the images of exactly how they can do it. Now, this was patented in January 7th. Application filed by individual. January 7th, 2012. Oh, look, see, I told you you'd be writing that down. I knew you were going to write that down. I want y'all sometimes to know that sometimes I don't just sit around and watch TV. Although sometimes I do. But there you go. There it is. There
always working for you guys.
Right.
Always
There
working.
we are.
Always
and
doing research.
there
And
it is.
here's your proof.
There it is. Right there. The patent is right there. It's right there in black and white. Method to influence the direction of travel of hurricanes. Now, if you want to look this up, if you still want to doubt me or you want to read about it or whatever, just Google Edwin Allen Burns patent, and it'll come right up. His patent
That would be.
to influence the direction of travel of hurricanes.
Oh, should we start keeping score?
Yeah,
That would be one for Connie and Linda.
one for us telling you this is what happens. This is what we told you can happen, and it's happening.
And
Right
we also told you that she was going to send $157 million to Lebanon. Now let this sink in, folks. Let this sink in. $157 million to Lebanon. and we're sending money to Israel. Think
Okay.
about that. I'm going to leave that one right there.
All right. Well, you had to bring that up because that's my next one. Okay. Now I'm going to throw you for a loop on that one. All right. So Kamala's going to send 157 million to Lebanon. Why? Why? Why would you ask?
The humanitarian crisis.
That's what she's saying. Now let me show you the real reason.
Do they have lithium too?
No, but you can't make this stuff up, y'all. I cannot make this up. I want you to see it. Look at this. U.S. said seeking to install new Lebanese president pushed aside weakening Hezbollah. The U.S. is aiming to use Israel offensive against Hezbollah as an opportunity to push aside the Iran-backed Lebanese terror group. All right. Now, let's go there for just a minute. We're going to go there because what I want to tell y'all is who put Zelensky in office?
Who put who?
Who put Zelensky in the Ukraine in office?
Oh.
Why, we did. We got him in there. Now we're trying to put the leader of Lebanon, their president, in there. We need to mind our own damn business and take care of our own and not be worried about who's running Lebanon. Who cares?
But who's crying about outside influence on our elections?
There you go. And who are we sending $157 billion to? Lebanon. Come on, y'all. Put your mind around it. I'm just saying. The paper's right there. The proof is right there.
Do you not think that Florida and North Carolina is a humanitarian crisis right now?
Absolutely.
And these people have to apply for $750 and then pay.
Okay, and we have to. Okay, so we're going to apply for the $750, but you got to pay it back within a year. That's in that paperwork.
They said the same thing about those COVID relief checks too, that they'd have to pay him back.
Well, they got it one way or the other. Come on, Linda. You know they did. They got it one
way or another, but I never had to pay anything back because I never got any.
I'm just telling you that all of this, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, by golly, I'm telling you, it's a duck. It's a duck, y'all. It's a duck. And this, we don't need to be putting our nose in Lebanon. But what we're going to do is we're going to send over $157 million to these people that are in such dire need. And we don't have devastation all over the United States right now.
What about the fires in the West?
California. What about the California fires? What about now all of the flooding? The 170. Oh, you're right. Roll Apple, you're absolutely right. The 137 tornadoes that happened yesterday all over Florida. We have got devastation all over our country. We don't need to be involved in this Lebanese stuff. We need to keep our nose out of their business. And as far as I'm concerned, we're on the wrong side anyway. We should be sending the 157 million over to Israel, but he said he wanted us to keep our nose out of it and just stand aside because he just let him do what he needs to do, is what he said. All right. Well, that's what we need to do. Because I'll tell you what, Israel can take care of their own.
Has anybody happened to see any pictures from Florida? Because it looks like a third world country, and so does North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a bomb zone.
And we're going to stick our nose in the president of Lebanon. Like we did in the Ukraine. We put Zelensky in office. And now we just keep paying him. And you know what? He doesn't want to make peace. I'm telling y'all, he does not want to make peace because he's making way too much money off of this war. We don't have the money to send him. We don't have the money to send this guy either.
Oh, but they do because they stole from FEMA. Oop, did I say that out loud?
Yep. Took our money that we have paid in for FEMA to turn around and send it to these people. And don't worry, because now we've got another caravan coming in, and we got to pay them people too, you know. So I don't know where they think they're going to come up with the money for that. It's happening, y'all, right in front of our nose. It's right here in our face.
It's when they get in, they're going to tax us more because she's going to help the middle class. No.
She's not. She ain't going to help
No,
nobody but herself.
The middle class.
And her husband. Y'all. She's got to help her husband who is in lithium. You know, it's like, yeah, they want everything. They want us. They want, and you know, our government is so stupid that, you know, after reading all this and looking at this, yeah, I won't read it.
We'll say it. We'll say it one more time. Don't read me out loud.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, well, I'll say it one more time. You can't make this stuff up.
We can't make this up.
You can't.
When we told you that they can produce and make a hurricane as strong and got it, let me share it again. I'm going to share it again because you know what? I think it's worth sharing again. I want y'all to see that, yes, it is right here, and it was patented in 2012 by Edwin Allen Burns, and he tells you step by step in 10 images on exactly how you do it.
Now, don't think for 1 minute that this just started in 2012.
No, because you know what?
They started producing rain in Vietnam for the Vietnam War.
Oh, no, I got a better one for you. And I didn't find it, y'all, but I'm going to find it's one, and maybe that's what I'll show on Monday because it may take me that long to find it. But I'm going to, by golly, I'm going to find it just so I can show y'all. In 1961, JFK got on in front of everybody in a speech and said, we can control the weather and we have the ability. That was in 1961. That went right over everybody's head. They're like, oh, yeah, you and one army.
Mm-hmm.
No one believed him. Well, guess what? You know what?
Here we are 62 years later.
And they're doing it. And they're doing it like pros. They're doing exactly what they said they were going to do, and they're doing it. And hurricane season ends at the latter part of October. Always has, always will in Texas. And we got another one coming in the latter part of October, first part of November, and it's supposed to hit Louisiana with another one to follow. I ain't making this stuff up. It's happening. It's happening, y'all. Why? That's a good question. They want something. They want America. You know, and P. Diddy, well, I got news for you. He ain't nothing but a distraction on what's going on right now. Here, let's stick him up there, even though he's a pig and a trailer trash piece of work. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, he's a big distraction. He's got the whole internet popping all over the place, and everybody's standing up now. Do you know what he did to me? Do you know what he did? You know what? At this point, I really don't care what he did to me, to you, because I'm really worried about what our government is doing to all of us. I mean, I don't know if I'm making sense there, but
No, it makes sense. It makes perfect logical sense. It's kind of like, look here. Nope, look here. No, over here.
Yep.
No, over here.
Yep.
And we're going to do what we want in the middle.
Yep.
And we're going to keep you in the four corners. Look here, look here, look here, look here. Oh, here's a hurricane. Okay, so here's another hurricane. It's coming. So we're going to distract you with these hurricanes.
And you know, these aren't just little hurricanes either.
No,
they're massive. They're massive. They're massive and they're strong. And we have never had a hurricane get below 890 millibars before, and this one did.
Yeah. And we've never had a hurricane drop 50 millibars in 10 hours.
In 10 hours ever, and it did.
Yes, it sure did, ma'am.
And let me tell you another thing here. Now that, not that I'm a meteorologist, you like that word? I like that word, meteorologist. Anyway, not that I'm a weather person, but I'm going to tell you this. I've been in Hurricane Alley long enough to know that if your water, and it's coming to you, and your water is being sucked out, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. That's tsunami kind of stuff. That's after seeing that yesterday, because believe me, I was on that all day long. In fact, I watched it hit. There was a guy doing a live broadcast and he was showing it from his car. Now, he was making me extremely nervous. I had to take my Xanax and everything else because I thought his car was going to blow away. And he was in a Kia, for Pete's sake. But, you know, I sat, and he's safe and everything's good, but I sat there watching that thinking to myself, this was awfully strong. Are they working on a tsunami? Is that what they're working on? Is that what they're trying to do? They've already got the hurricane down pat. Are they working on the tsunami now?
Well, actually, no, they don't have it down pat. They may have it at a good point right now because this was the first time ever so many tornadoes spawned from this. So they've added that into the mix now. Oh, it's not just a hurricane, guys, because if the hurricane doesn't get you and the winds don't get you and the flood don't get you, we're going to throw in tornadoes for you too.
Okay, and you know what this
Run from that.
And y'all, what do you think of? The first thing you think of when you look at this, okay? They're trying to play God, right? Right? They're trying to play God. God is the weatherman, and he produces what he needs to produce for our country, for our land. God produces it. All right. So now we're going to just amplify everything and we're going to play God. Well, guess what? The last time humans tried to play God, they were going to build themselves a tower and they were going to build their way to heaven. And guess what happened to them then? And I'm speaking of the Tower of Babel, if nobody knows. And guess what? That all came to a screeching halt too. So when you think that you have the power as a little microscopic amoeba in God's eyes right now to play God, you're messing with the wrong person. It's just like I said, we don't need to be messing over there in Lebanon and don't need to be messing with the weather.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to preach anymore, y'all. I know you're tired of hearing me preach. But I'm just telling you, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here for you to see that this is what's going on. They're making it happen. The man's got a patent on it. He has created these hurricanes. He can intensify them. He can drive them. I wondered what the heck was in Florida that everybody wanted so bad. Well, isn't it funny? It wasn't Florida they were after. It was Asheville, North Carolina, which they guided it right up there to destroy because they wanted the lithium. Now, what else do they want? Oh, they're not quite done yet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Royal Apple. People are exhausted.
They're tired. They're tired of being beat up. They're tired of being taken down. But you know what? It's just time for us to pray a little bit harder. Because
Yep.
I know, because remember, I told you this Red Sea moment was going to happen, and we're living it right now. I thought about that last night when the water came rushing in. I thought, well, if this ain't a Red Sea moment, but it was a Red Sea moment for me to find this information. So it happened. I'm telling you.
Right, right. Well, you know that they're saying on X that the images that they're putting out here, these images here. Let me share this. These images that they're putting out right here.
Jeez.
Now, let me show you the title. These images allegedly.
I like that word, allegedly. Don't you like that
You
word? I
gotta-
love that
you know,
word, allegedly.
You got to question it because if this picture is from outer space,
Mm-hmm.
why does this look like it would cover the whole United States?
Oh, you
Doesn't
got your rainstorm and everything, but you know what? That's a lie right there, because if anybody was watching, Milton didn't even form its eye till almost the end. And that's a perfect eye.
It's the perfect eye. That's a perfect circle.
It don't work like that. It don't
Those
work.
are perfect
It does not
circles,
work
guys.
like that.
This is the only one that's kind of fogged in. This one. But I mean, these are like perfect. And how come this one looks so flat? This looks like Drano going down a drain.
Mm-hmm.
And this one looks like so high, but this is so flat. I don't know. Just saying.
Look at this here. We got Wisconsin fires that, for a reason to have at the moment, I can't remember why. Oh, well, yeah, because you know what? Because they want to burn down everything. It's burn it up, flood it, destroy it in every way you can, and try and help, and then say, you know what? We're going to give you $750 to recover. Oh, by the way, and your Wheaties are going to go up another $5 a box.
Right.
You can't make this stuff up. Oh, and by the way, you know, y'all in Texas, you didn't get a hurricane this year. Lucky you, knock on wood, lucky you. But you know what? You're going to help by paying more in your flooded, your wind and storm insurance. We're going to boost it up another $3,000 a year because you got to help pay for Florida. There is a land grab there. You're absolutely right. There,
Well,
and you know what? And that is not the only place they're trying to land grab. They're trying to land grab something. You know what they're trying to do, you guys? I was thinking about this and I kept thinking, what? There is something in Florida. There's something in Florida. What is in Florida? SpaceX is in Florida.
So is Trump.
Right, but SpaceX is in Florida, and SpaceX is doing a lot of stuff right now. Do you realize that if SpaceX goes down, so does what is his internet thing that North Carolina Starlink go down? And that would just, here's the deal, y'all. Everything is in a red state that is devastated with no electricity. Now you tell me,
right?
A, we got a couple things we can talk about here. Now, A, are they going to stop the election? Because you can't have an election if everybody can't vote. Or B, are they going to delay it? Or C, are they just going to cancel it and we're going to be stuck with Kamala?
Oh, because then that's when they'll announce that Joe's dead.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen. They're not. There's no good reason to cancel it.
Okay. So in a perfect world, the election will go through, right? Election will go through. Everyone will be able to vote. The president will be selected.
Right.
And if it isn't selected right, then guess what? We got 6 weeks to destroy what we started.
Well, destroy even further.
Right. We have to make it where people cannot crawl out of it.
Yep.
I'm just saying, y'all, you know what? I don't trust anybody. If Trump wins, I'd say, give me the keys to everything and y'all can't make any decisions and get out.
Right.
Yep. The people are getting smarter. That's the whole deal. Roll Apple, that's the whole deal.
There's more and more people catching up.
They're waking up. They're waking up and they're smelling the coffee.
You know, and I have to laugh because I've been seeing a lot of videos of people of color that are coming out and saying, she's not black, don't vote for her. You voted for one president that was black that started all this crap. Stop.
I heard somebody say that was black said, you know what? Our last time we voted for a black president did nothing but divide the nation.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Right. And they're just keeping on further dividing. So they literally divided in half.
I'm so busy worrying about our weather. Sorry. I'm so busy worried about our weather that.
But Sandy, that's a good point that the military comes in, except for you can't trust all of the military either.
Speaking of the military, so they have a videotape out that, up in North Carolina, that they had these tents and everything out, and they had given all these donations and all this stuff was stacked up. And one of those black helicopters, they have a special name. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but they're military.
The Tommy Hawk or something like that.
It flew right over, and all, you know how a helicopter has all that wind. It threw everything all over everywhere and hurt people. And then it flew away. Right? Nobody knew who it was. No
markings on the helicopter.
Right. Well, guess what? That helicopter was called the Fury, and it came out of the United States National Guard out of Connecticut. How about that one, y'all? But guess what? When you look at the flight log on it, it was there, and now it's gone.
Yeah, they at first they couldn't even find a flight path for something to be in that area.
No.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
So
y'all going to stand up. You're right.
Basically, we are we're fact checking. We're debunking.
We're trying to, you know what? We're trying to show you that right now it's we the people against our government. It's at that point, y'all.
It is.
We have to do something to make it right. We have to stand up. I know you sit here and say, well, you know what? I'm only one person and I'm only one voice and I can't stand up because who's going to listen to me? Well, you know what? I'm trying. And I'm standing up and I'm one voice and I'm showing you the proof. Share it out there. I don't care because it's right there. It's in our face.
You know, it only took one person's idea to get electricity.
It only took one person's idea to drive a hurricane.
I'm just saying it only took one person to do many, many, many things in this world. It's got to start somewhere.
We got to open people's eyes. All right. I'm going to tell you something, and we're going to get down to brass tacks right now. I'm going to tell you something right now. All the people that we love, all the people we love in the Bible, let's talk about them. Moses. We love Moses, don't we? We love Moses. Moses set us free, right? Well, Moses wasn't such a great person in the beginning. He was down there beating slaves like everyone else until he figured out that he was one of them.
Right?
All right. We love David. We love King David. We love King David. King David wrote Psalms and Proverbs after he had Bathsheba's husband killed. Okay. He wasn't such a good person. He was a good person in the beginning. He lost his way and he came right back.
Right.
Our Bible people that we hold so dear to us, we're not perfect people. Okay. And I'm saying that because I'm driving home a point.
Look at Judas. He was Jesus' right-hand man.
He was known as the son of perdition. He sold Jesus out for 40. Of course, he hung himself. He should have done more than that. But yeah, sold it for 43 pieces of gold or whatever it was, coins. It wasn't worth a hill of beans.
Right.
For the torture he went through. We can go through all of these things. Look at Noah. Noah was doing some crazy stuff too. Everyone said he was crazy for building a ark in the middle of the. What are you doing? Why are you building this big boat? Are you insane? There you go. Okay, you're either crazy or you lose your way for a second, or you do whatever. But I'm going to tell you, these people that we love so much and we hold so dear are not perfect.
No,
they're not perfect, and they have done not such great things.
Look at Mary Magdalene.
But I'm going to tell you, think twice before you point your finger at Trump. That's what I'm driving home.
Think twice before you vote. Think twice before you vote, because there's a whole lot of lying going on. A whole lot of lying going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad when somebody has a commercial out there and then Trump comes out with a commercial that speaks truths. Fact check if you don't believe it. Mm-hmm. And then she comes out with a rebuttal. Now, what's that telling you? That's telling you something's fishy. Something's very, very fishy.
My thing is to y'all, my big thing to y'all is you know what? Let's travel back. Come on, guys, let's go back in our head a little bit. When Trump was in office in 2016, I'm going to mirror this to David's life like you wouldn't believe. In 2016, when Trump took office, when did you ever hear, other than he was so focused on making America great and making us spill a lot of money and doing all the things that he did, when did you hear him say, God bless America? When did you ever hear him even mention God's name? Not very often.
Nope.
Not very often. Not in his 4 years, you didn't.
Nope.
He did his thing. He promised he'd do what he did, and he did it, right? That's one thing we know for sure. He promised and he delivered. That's all we know. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff started coming up about him and everything else, right? How many times have you heard him say, God bless America, God saved my life, God will bless America again? He's always blessing. He's always saying God is with us. God is this. God is that. God bless everybody. God.
The man found Jesus.
There you go. There you go. And you know what? God came to him and said, "You know what? You're my David, and you're
Yep.
gonna run this thing, and you're gonna run it my way."
Right. Exactly.
And you know what? After he was almost assassinated, I think he believed before. I think he believed before he was on the right track. But you know what? That was proof point right there. He said, "You know what? God is watching out for me, and you know what? I am going to run it His way."
And can I interject here?
Hmm.
You witnessed a modern day miracle
Yep.
for him turning his head. You witnessed a modern day miracle. We
Right.
don't see those.
No.
We don't see them every day. We don't see them like they used to
No.
back in the day, and they could be like, "Oh, well, explain this."
No.
Okay. Explain why he had that pie chart and why he was looking at the pie chart. He's never had the pie chart up before, but he has it up every time now, doesn't he? He sure does.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said on his last rally? I tell you what, you got to laugh at him. He's got quite a sense of humor.
He does.
But he said they put the chart up, and he turned and looked at it. And he said, "You gotta love this chart. You gotta love this chart."
Right.
You know, I,
Right.
I don't want to preach. I'm not here to preach to y'all because you're all in the right direction. I'm
Right.
just telling y'all, I'm just here to enforce and be supportive of you in going in that right direction.
We're just here
Because
to bring truth.
yeah,
And for other people that watch this, other than our faithful followers,
mhm,
which we hope we get more faithful followers by
mhm,
doing these fact checks and by keeping you guys informed.
yeah.
This isn't fear mongering. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to, everybody knows how corrupt the government is. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You know how corrupt this government is. And if you really, there really is. Because how can you see some of the stuff that these people say and do and be like, yeah, yeah, that I'm going to vote for them. Yep, they're right there, right there. That's why I'm going to vote for them.
If I have to hear one more time, and Lord forgive me for what I'm getting ready to say, because I gotta say it. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. But if I hear one more time somebody tell me that they're going to vote for Kamala Harris because she needs a shot at it, that's the most ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. Because she's been there 3.5 years and she hasn't done a dang thing since she's been there. And you know what? She was like Joe Biden. She hid in the basement. Where's she been the last 3 years? You haven't even seen her come out in public. Now all of a sudden she's in public out there talking. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, somebody must have told her not to drink or as much before she goes on shows or something because she certainly is not cackling like she used to. You think somebody told her, cut out the booze, cut out the smoke, cut out the
Uh,
coke?
yeah, quit snorting so much. Sandra, a lot of people feel that way about JD Vance. Um, we just gotta hope and pray that Trump was doing the right thing. And you're right, time will tell, because you know what? Trump will say, just like he did, just like he did on The Apprentice, "You're fired. You shut your face and you get off and you go in the basement like Kamala did for the last 3.5 years. And I don't want to hear from you. Because don't worry, Trump ain't beyond going out there and saying, you know what, JD Vance did this and he did that because he did it with Pence."
And you know what?
The truth will come out if
Here's the other
Dennis
thing.
tries to do something stupid.
Here's the other thing. Why in the world did you see that new
Yep.
commercial out of this couple? Clearly, you can tell their retirement age. Clearly, I mean, it might even be a local commercial, but their retirement age. And she's like, he wants to totally ban abortions. And the husband says, "Oh, these kids these days." Why in the world would you have a senior citizen sitting there saying, I'm not going to vote for him because they want to ban abortions. You will never even be pregnant in the next 10 years.
If you're a senior citizen, you will never be.
Exactly.
Ever.
So stop it. And I am up to here with the whole abortion issue.
That's the only issue they stand on. That's the only one they've got.
I am so sick and tired of hearing about it. You are demonic. You are sick. You think that people should be able just to be like, I don't want a baby. Let me go have an abortion. I don't want. When I was a teenager, I know somebody that used abortion as a
form
of birth control. And I was 16, 17, maybe 18. And even at that young age, I thought to myself, wow, how cruel is that?
Well, you know what? And I know I had a friend of mine that was like that too. And she had to live with herself and still having a hard time.
And here's my opinion, and I don't wish bad on people. I do not wish bad on people. But, okay, here's a food for thought now that we're towards the end. Food for thought. Did it ever occur to you that maybe you're having trouble getting pregnant because maybe behind you had an abortion because you just didn't want a baby at that time? I'm just saying, you can't tell me that there aren't women out there struggling to have a family now that they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and now it's not fun and games anymore. Now I want a baby. But you don't think about that baby you killed back when you were 17.
You know how I like to throw some stuff out there, and I got an idea, and I'm going to throw it out there to you. And let's just see if I ain't got this one right. But we'll see. Only time will tell, right?
Right.
The next one that's going to come down that's going to blow your mind away is Oprah. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Hey, Teeny. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, the next one going down is going to be Oprah, and it's going to shock everybody because Oprah is the best person that ever walked on shoe leather. You're
because
right.
She gave you a car and you a car and you a car. She didn't give you shit.
No.
Just putting that out there.
No, you know what? They didn't. She didn't give you anything. The car dealer gave it to you.
Right.
Okay.
Her show didn't give it to you.
Right.
She didn't give you anything.
She didn't give you. She's getting ready to give you a real bad headache. I'm telling you right now, it's getting ready to happen because just hang tight. Just hang tight. You're going to hear names that you never thought you heard before.
Yep.
And that's one of them. Mm-hmm.
There's more to go down. There's
more to go down. And right now, I am too busy being invested in things like the weather and how they control it.
Well, not only the weather, but
Teeny is seeing the Northern Lights from PA right now.
Yeah, they said we're supposed to be able to see that. We've got clear skies. I probably
we're going to see it down here because we're too far down. But that
yeah,
they said it's dropping. It could happen. We may see it someday.
And that's another thing. I'm gonna do some research on Northern Lights. How come all of a sudden, you can see them all the way down to Nashville, Tennessee?
And never was able to see it. It was always an Alaska beauty.
It was Alaska and Iceland and Newfoundland and Greenland.
There you go, Tina. You're right. They're probably controlling that too. They're controlling everything else, for Pete's sake.
Here's my theory. This is going to sound absolutely crazy, you guys, but I'm going to look into this. Who's to say that they don't have projectors?
Who knows?
I'm just saying.
Who knows?
Or how do you know that they haven't figured out something that they can put in the atmosphere that glows?
Well, did you know? I'm going to tell you something. The most beautiful skies in the world is China at night because it's so polluted. It's the truth. They've proven that. It's a pollution.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense that all of a sudden we can see it. All of a sudden we're having such powerful solar flare storms that we can see northern lights. Okay. Okay. And I've got some swampland to sell you too.
I'm telling y'all, you just got to be prepared. Watch what's going on around you, and you're going to see. If you just open your eyes and look around you, you're going to see and you're going to find. Seek and find. Teeny, look, I'm going to show this one more time before I get off because I want her to look this up because she's going to say, no way, no way. But I got to show her again because she wasn't here to see it. She missed it. And I just keep showing it over and over like it's a great accomplishment. But I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I thought, well, I knew it was happening, but there you go. There you go. There you go. Method to influence the direction of a travel of a hurricane. This man patented it and he told you exactly how to do it. And it was patented in 2012. And he explains it to you exactly how to do it.
Okay, and all I'm going to say also about the northern lights, if they can make lights that light up your bedroom to make it look like northern lights, I'm going to leave that right there.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. All right, y'all. It's been an hour, and I love y'all. And you know what? I don't know what you have planned for the weekend, but make sure you have a blessed weekend. Blessed be to those that are in Florida and having to do their cleanup.
Prayers.
But thank you, God, they're okay to be able to do it. All right.
Yes. Thank you for watching over them and
Right.
hearing your prayers.
Because you know what? Actually, the amazing thing is there wasn't that many people that died in this hurricane. So thank you, God, for that. And hope y'all have a great weekend. Whatever it is that you're doing, I hope you're having a good time doing it, and we'll have a good time doing it.
We love you. Thank you for your continued support. Please like, subscribe, and share. Y'all have a safe weekend.
Take care, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do.
Boy, that leaves it open.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.